didn't really know who Sia was. She didn't show her face.
I was sick, and I didn't know I was sick.
You're crazy.
The singer makes some awfully unconventional choices. The jagged hair, the eccentric outfits, and oh yeah, she doesn't want to show her face.
I'm just 34 and I'm living the dream of a 10-year-old.
The whole time, it's just been me, Katy Perry.
You do not like to show your face, and I think people don't understand why.
I did not care about anything else. I just wanted to survive.
Maddie Ziegler reveals what Sia's really like under those wigs.
And I immediately started to cry. I just thought, I have to protect her. They both suffered a lot. There would be so many opportunities for her to be taken advantage of.
One of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. Tonight, Weinstein is now behind bars.
That was really disgusting. I could see she was already suffering from PTSD.
I'm basically like her daughter.
I would take a bullet for her, and I threw this child into the spotlight. What did I want this? Like, what the was I thinking?
Sia's voice always had the power to move people.
I grew up around wacky artists, and I knew from very early on that there was something special about me.
But the one person who resented her talent was her own father, who was a failed rock star.
He had two very unique personalities. Phil was like the best dad ever. Like, he was so nice. So when Stan came around, stuff got scary. It's impossible not to see something you wanted happen to someone else and wish it for yourself. Maybe it's envy.
When she tried to support her dad's dream, he cruelly rejected her.
And I was like, well, Dad, if you want me to sing harmonies or anything on it, just let me know. And he turned around, he looked at me and he said, nah, it's my album and you're not on it. I overcompensated by devaluing myself, putting myself down.
In search of the stability she'd never got from her dad, Sia tried to build a better life by moving to London with her boyfriend Dan.
I'm just 34 and I'm living the dream of a 10-year-old. I was constantly looking for something just to feel like some sense of equilibrium.
But one phone call brought her hopes crashing down. Dan was killed in a car accident on his 24th birthday.
I was so depressed I wanted to die.
Alone again in London, Sia couldn't handle the grief and started to destroy herself.
I got drunk a lot, and like sometimes I did drugs, and that was a way of deflecting the grief.
She managed to channel some of her pain into beautiful songs that touched people's hearts. But as her popularity grew, her old fear came rushing back.
Touring can be really lonely. It seems to cause me a lot of anxiety. What did I want this? Like, what the was I thinking? I was a terrible alcoholic, and I had started popping pills as well.
Her depression had a more life-threatening cause, too.
I was sick, and I didn't know I was sick with a thyroid condition. I had to stop. I hit a bottom, and I thought, I can't do it this way anymore. And I had been sort of trying to avoid my feelings through drink and drugs.
Sia had to get sober to survive, but would singing make her relapse?
Like, I did not care about anything else. I just wanted to survive. How can I exploit my gift without having to hurt myself? And I sobered up and decided I didn't want to be an artist anymore. And it was destabilizing.
Sia hid herself by writing songs for other famous singers, like Katy Perry.
Some people crave it, some people have really good boundaries set in place, and other people get a taste of it like me and just want to get the f out.
Katy was in awe of Sia's talent and pushed her to sing her own songs proudly.
Oh my God, this song is so good. You're crazy. I don't need to be on this record. Keep Sia on the record.
But Sia was too afraid to risk her stability by showing her face to the world.
The singer makes some awfully unconventional choices. The jagged hair, the eccentric outfits, and oh yeah, she doesn't want to show her face.
I don't want to be famous or recognizable. I don't want to be critiqued about the way that I look.
Till she saw a young dancer on the reality hit TV show, Dance Moms. It was like looking at her younger self.
That show was already sort of abominable. They're all being abused by that dance teacher emotionally and verbally, and I could see she was already suffering from PTSD.
She said to my mom, I want to get in contact with your daughter. I want her to be in my video. And at the time, I didn't really know who Sia was because I was so young and she didn't show her face.
With Maddie dancing alongside her, Sia didn't feel so alone.
The day we met, we clicked and we knew that it was a special connection.
And I went and I watched her at rehearsal and I immediately started to cry. I just thought, I have to protect her. I didn't want to be famous, and I threw this child into the spotlight. And she would say to me, don't be silly, I was already famous and I wanted to be famous. I knew she was going to be massively successful and that there would be so many opportunities for her to be taken advantage of.
Sia decided the best way to keep Maddie safe was to keep her by her side. And when Maddie got an unexpected invitation, her motherly instinct kicked in for the first time.
Made sure she never got on a jet to see Harvey Weinstein.
He was once one of the most powerful movie producers in Hollywood, but tonight Harvey Weinstein is a convicted sex offender.
When he invited her, I just said, please do not do that, do not do that, do not do that. I just love her as a mother. I love her as if she were mine. I would take a bullet for her. There's no agenda except for keep her safe psychologically and physically.
With Maddie's support, Sia found the courage to go on tour again for the first time in 5 years.
So you're on tour with her right now, or you just finished?
We finished a couple months ago. It was the best experience of my life.
And one night with Katie, she was able to show the world her true self.
Becoming a woman was learning about connection, learning how to trust other people, learning how to reach out when I'm in discomfort, learning some compassion for myself.
Looking after Maddie made Sia realize she could give other kids the stability that she'd always needed. And so she adopted 2 teenage boys.
It's a blessing for me. I think they saved me, so I'm like in heaven. They both suffered a lot. I have the resources to get them the help that they needed for their early trauma.
And today, she's closer to Maddie than ever.
Would you describe your relationship as a mother or as a sister?
Yeah, mother and friend. And I think that it was part of my own healing.
She is the best person in my life. She's, I think, my godmom now. So if anything were to happen, she would take me, which is really cool.
Sia broke free from fear to share her gifts with the world.
This is what my face looks like.
It's certainly uncomfortable to display that level of vulnerability, but once you've done it once, you'll never go.
And once we share our authentic selves, we can help others do the same.
But the real Rose is learning to show up for people. To realize is that I'm not my past.
I love you. If you're having a hard time, I've always loved you. I just didn't know I loved me too. It gets better. Just don't give up.